Hello, amazing people. I'm back. I know that I didn't record on Thursday and Friday, but there was an unfortunate um, transition of someone that was dear to my heart, and I needed those 2 days to process it. While it was a long journey getting to this point, and we figured this is what it was going to end up at, when it actually happens, it can take a lot out of you. So I did not record Thursday or Friday, but I am back, still in the law of divine compensation, knowing that her spirit is traveling back to the essence from which it came. And while we will miss her, and her children and her husband will definitely miss her, her family, they definitely have it worse than friends. We definitely will miss her, but not like the people that she pushed out of her body or the man she gave her life to as his spouse. So many blessings go out to them. They know who they are. So I'm going to get to reading. We are still in the law of divine compensation, and this is in bold. The universe is like a house wired for electricity, but too often we're like unplugged lamps. Prayer is the way we plug into the divine, aligning our thinking with the love that infuses all things. Prayer expands our consciousness, thus expanding a set of possibilities that we experience. As we saw in an earlier chapter, when our attitude is negative, few opportunities arise. This is not because opportunities don't exist, but because our negative attitude and energy blinds us to them. You might be sitting at lunch one day next to a woman who could provide you with wonderful work opportunity, but because you're going on and on about how rough things are, how tough it has been for you, it doesn't occur to her to engage you in a conversation about professionally moving forward with her. Why would she want to? Nobody likes a negative Nancy. For one thing, you've showed her how effective you are or aren't at handling problems in your life. Your energy deflected whatever miracle might have occurred. I have this rule where even when things look like they're just not the way I want them to, I have to find the good in them, because there's always good in something. Always good in something. Now, I am not talking about situations. We have this tendency when someone says, oh, the good, you go, well, what about if somebody murdered your whole family? What's good in that? We like to just challenge people. That's our ego. I'm talking about, first of all, we're talking about financial things. This is a financial book. There's good in everything. And even if there's no good, I cannot tell you the good in losing your whole family at all. And I wouldn't even try. But we do tend to do that. But I'm talking about financial things. They're good even in a financial wipeout. The good thing is you once did it. You did it once. You can do it again. Okay. This is the day that the Lord has made. A day of infinite possibilities, because God is a God of infinite possibilities. A day when the universe is reaching out its arms to provide you with every opportunity for joy. You would have been wired differently at lunch. That woman would have blown you away, would have been blown away. Let me read that because I skipped a sentence and it makes a difference. If you had awakened that day affirming, this is the day that the Lord has made, a day of infinite possibilities, because God is a God of infinite possibility, a day when the universe is reaching out its arms to provide you with every opportunity for joy. You would have been wired differently at lunch. That woman would have been blown away. I've shared with you all what I do in the morning. I have a set of choose cards, and I say what I choose that for that day. I choose joy, I choose happiness, I choose to be at peace, I choose to allow love to flow, I choose to look at every problem as an opportunity to solve it. I say those things, and during the day, certainly I get challenged, but I find ways to work through those challenges because I've determined that that's what I'm going to do, and you can do the same thing. Your energy, your attitude, your positivity, your words, your ability to listen to others and truly dwell in the present. All those things make you a person others want to be with, want to work with, want to share ideas with. That energy is the spiritual basis of wealth creation. I once knew an actress who was looking for work. She was constantly invited to parties, yet consistently turned down the invitation, saying, "You don't get to work by going to parties." Boy, how wrong she was. You never know whom you're going to meet, where or what form of an opportunity is going to take. Now, if you had a Diddy party, I couldn't help that one. If you had a Diddy party, no telling what you're going to get into. The miracle worker doesn't just show up for auditions. The miracle worker shows up for life, and life reciprocates. And this is prayer writes the universe around you because it writes your mind. And this is a prayer. So you can take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. And just listen. Dear God, I surrender to you my work and my desire for work. I surrender to you my fear. I surrender to you my money. And I surrender to you my debts. I surrender to you my sense of failure. And I surrender to you my shame. I surrender to you my dreams and my visions and my hopes. Amen. When I was reading that prayer, I thought about how we trust God with a lot of things, but we don't trust God with our money. And I know we don't because we're always worried about money. If you trusted God with your money, you would never worry about money because you would say the infinite supplier is always supplying. God be God. But instead, we're like, oh shit, my car note is due. I don't have enough money. What am I going to do? And sometimes we resort to unscrupulous things to do it. And sometimes we just lay down and just act like the world is coming to an end because we can't pay a car note and we're mad and angry and evil with everybody. But the bottom line is we don't trust God with our money. We say, God, I trust you with everything. We might want to say, except for my money, because you know, God, I don't know what you're doing because I don't have a lot. And I believe the reason why we don't have a lot is because we have a poverty mindset. Lots of us think, I'm in survival mode. I'm in survival mode. Well, there's no money in survival mode. So it's like if there are layers to things, survival mode is all the way down here. And ain't no money down there. You got to get out of survival mode and get into thriving mode. You got to realize that you are what you think you are. You are who you say you are. So if you say you're wealthy and abundant and joyous and happy, well, money follows that. It may not happen right away, but it will happen. That which we place in the hands of God is turned into right-minded thinking. The altar of God the altar to God is within our minds, and that which is placed on the altar is then altered. When you give something to God, we tend to do this too. We give it to God, but we don't let go of it. So we're holding on to it while God is holding on to it, and God can't do what God needs to do because we're holding on to it. And while I believe we are God, the force inside of you is God. I believe we're dueling inside of ourselves. Like that, you ever seen that angel and the devil on the shoulders, and the angel is saying something, the devil is saying something, and the person is trying to wonder which one? I think that's how we are with God. Not that we're the devil and God is the angel, but that our reasoning mind wants to believe a certain way, but our God mind says all things are possible. Even in the word impossible, God put possible. He put I'm possible. We just choose to believe it's saying impossible, but maybe God was saying I'm possible. That's what I believe, and you can't change that for me. There is no magic formula for how to pray. No one is monitoring whether or not you get it right. Simply pray from your heart with sentiments such as, Dear God, lift all these things into your hands. Asking that something be lifted up into divine right order means asking that it be lifted to the highest thought forms possible. A lower thought form is something like, I'm a failure, I'm no good, I'll never succeed. And remember something, whatever you say, whatever you believe about yourself, you're right. So if you say I'm a failure, you're going to fail at everything. If you say to yourself that, I'm no good, you're not going to be good at anything. And you're going to get yourself into situations that show that you're no good. You're going to start to run with people that you're going to start doing things that no good people do because you already believe you're no good. Honestly, I think that we can tell how people feel about themselves by how they're accessing their lives, what they're doing in their lives. If they're doing things in their lives that is foolish, they think they're a fool. But you can always change. Like she just says right here, I am a child of God. I know that I have made mistakes, but I atone for my errors. I'm willing in all ways to be the person God would have me to be. I'm willing to be shown where I need to improve, and I know that God has a plan for me. I place myself in service to humanity, and I ask God to use me to help heal the world. All of us are here for the first time in the person you're in. I believe our souls travel, but I've never been Tracy before. So I'm bound to make mistakes because I've never been Tracy before. I'm giving myself grace now. I try not to make errors. I know right from wrong. I'm 56 years old. If I don't know right from wrong, something ain't right. But I'm still going to make mistakes. I'm going to do things that I wish I hadn't have done that way, but I'm no longer doing anything and regretting it, because regret, it doesn't do anything. I just have to say, oops, shouldn't have done it that way. I'm not a malicious person, so I don't hurt people on purpose. If something I say hurt someone, it was really from my head and not my heart, and I apologize. If they say, oh, you did this, my children will come to me and go, Mom, when I was 10 years old, you did da-da-do-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'll say, I am so sorry. I wish I hadn't have done that, but I did. I can't change it. My oldest daughter came to me the other day and she said, Ma, I'm realizing, because she's a mother now, that a lot of the things you just did out of fear for what the outcome could be. So your response was fearful, and sometimes fearful responses are angry responses or responses that aren't good for anybody. And I was grateful that she could see that. But I always tell my children, I'm so sorry if I did something that I shouldn't have done. I'm sorry. It was a learning curve, because it's my first time being a mother too. Just like it's their first time being a child to me, it's my first time being a mother to them. And if you could give yourself grace like that, there's some things that when you give yourself grace, you get rid of the shame and the guilt, and you can move forward. You may have to atone, and you may have some karma for it, but I believe that karma is a lot less intense when you are humble enough to say, I just didn't know any better. I did what I thought to do because I didn't know any better. Or I did it on purpose because I just was being evil for a second. You could say that. Where we at? Okay, where is she at? Okay. When we meditate and pray, we align our minds with God's power. Our nervous system takes on a mantle of peace. Our anxious thoughts are replaced by peaceful ones. Our dull thinking becomes radiant and brilliant. All this corrective does not apply to just money and employment. It applies to everything. You have got to decide to forgive yourself for every single thing you've done financially. You made some mistakes. Your credit score may be 4. It's okay. It's a 4, but that doesn't mean God can't give you a mansion. If you truly believe it, you can definitely get it. Every single moment, every single holy instant, the universe is ready to begin again. Every moment you can make a mistake and begin again. I think where we get tripped up is we think we don't have to own the mistake. We can hide it. We think we don't have to do the work. And you may have to do some work. Every single moment, every single holy instant, the universe is ready to begin again. The only time that God's time intersects with linear time is in the present moments. The miracle happens not in the past or the future, but in the now. Every single moment. God is pouring forth his love for you. I say her love for you with endless opportunities for renewal and rebirth. Every single moment, God is saying, here is the glory of the universe. Do you want it? Show up for it, because it's yours. I can tell you, when you do that, it opens up doors that you never thought would open for you. I never thought I would be teaching school. Honestly, I used to think when I was younger, who want to be a school teacher and teach all these badass kids? And here I am, being a school teacher. And I don't even like the word kids, because kid is a baby goat. These badass children. But if not me, who? So we say unto all eternity, moment after moment after moment, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. God who dwells in the realm of truth, may your word be all powerful in my mind. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. May the world I live in here on earth reflect the reality of love. May I think your thoughts and make manifest your thoughts. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Today may I receive what I need. May my way be unblocked as I unblock my heart to others. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. And when I'm tempted into fear, may I be guided back to loving thoughts, that love might be my experience, and love might be my power, and love might be my happiness and peace in every single moment of every day. Amen. And so it is. That part in some Bibles says, and lead, L-E-A-D, us not into temptation. God doesn't lead you into temptation. That's an interpretation mistake. It's leave us not. God does not take you into things that you ain't got no business being into. That is you, your ego. The what we call the physical self does that. The Lord desires does that. The God in you know better. But the God in you is blocked by the ego in you, because the ego stands for what? Edging God out. I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of chapter 15 so we can kind of get through this book in 2 days so we can move on. All right, chapter 15, creating wealth through purity of heart. And I'm about to have a menopausal moment. And I told y'all about this menopause thing. All of a sudden, it feels like somebody lit a match in my soul. And it's just on fire. Ooh-wee. But I'm grateful for menopause. Because menopause means, one, I'm aging. And that's the goal of life, to age. Menopause means two. Okay, what else am I grateful for menopause? I think that's it because I'm aging. Because let me see, what else is good about menopause? There's got to be some other good things about menopause. I know menopause is much harder to lose weight in menopause. Like you could eat a grape for 6 weeks and lose like 2 pounds. So, but I would say the best thing about menopause reduces your chances to get cancers like ovarian or breast cancer because the estrogen levels are so much lower. So that's a good thing. Anywho, let's get back to read. I had to have my little private summers over. Chapter 15, Creating Wealth Through Purity of Heart. I once heard a story about an Indian spiritual teacher who told his disciples that their ashram needed a certain amount of money. When the disciples asked where would the money come from, he responded, from wherever it is now. I like that. Where's the money coming? From wherever it is now? I'm going to start saying that. Wealth does not come from somewhere else. It doesn't come from outside us, but rather manifest according to our thoughts. Money created righteously doesn't come from other people. It comes through them. Looking to other people as the source of our money is an idolatrous notion because it sees these people as the source of our good. That's like worshiping celebrities and thinking because a celebrity says something that is true. Just because they got money don't mean they got wisdom. However, it doesn't mean they're terrible. Some people think if people are rich, they're automatically horrible people. I don't think that. But it doesn't mean that they should be the one you lay down your life at their feet to get wisdom at either. Although, if somebody is piss poor, what wisdom are they using? Because piss poor is not of God. Looking to other people as a source of money is an idolatrous notion because it sees those people as a source of our good. It can also lead us to exploitative or manipulative thoughts or behavior. And I think that's why when people with lots of money and influence lead people astray, there's a lot coming to them. You should not allow somebody to lead you astray because you use your own damn mind because God gave you one. But if you should so happen to fall because you just decide you won't just hand your life over to somebody else and let them live it for you, I do believe that they get some consequences that are a little bit deeper because you and your naivete and your lazy let them take over your life. And I say lazy because it's a lazy person that lets somebody else tell them how to live their lives. They can give you guidance. They can say this is what God has shown, but you can look into it and God will show it to you. When we realize that the universe itself is the source of our good, we simply allow it to fill our needs. I just had deja vu, y'all. Oh my God, I just had deja vu. Okay, let me go back now. Okay, wow, it's really interesting. That whole thing I just said, I said it before. And I don't know how that works. Sometimes I think we're living backwards. Like everything has already been done and now we're like looking back on it all and trying to figure out where we went wrong. I don't know. But anywho, I just had deja vu. And the universe would never exploit anyone. We do whatever it is we feel we're supposed to do. And the universe pays us in whatever way it deems right. The biggest thing for me to accept is when I didn't get something, it was because I wasn't supposed to have it. Or when something was taken away from me, it was because I wasn't supposed to keep it. That was hard for me. But now that I'm living in a more fluid way where I understand life is fluid and things come and go and nothing is permanent and something that is amazing one day can really go to shit the next and something that was at shit one day can be amazing the next. I'm living more in a universe of like a Cracker Jack box where I'm shaking it up and just want to see what prize. And sometimes you don't like the prize. Do you guys even know what Cracker Jacks is? Do they have it anymore? So it used to be this Cracker Jack box and you didn't even want the sugary caramel popcorn as much as you wanted that prize in there. So you would shake that thing up, dump it out, all the little peanuts and all of the debris because it's a lot of crumbly and get that prize. At least I did. I wanted the prize more than I wanted the popcorn. So that's what life is for me now. It's like I'm just shaking it up, looking for the prize. And sometimes the prize isn't as much as I want it to be, but I'm just accepting that it's all a prize. Okay, she has this in bold. Purity of heart, then, is the miracle worker's greatest engine of wealth creation. Some things we'll do for free because it feels like the right things to do. Some things we'll charge money for because in different circumstances, asking for a righteous exchange of money feels like the right thing to do. But money itself should not be the reason we do anything. I disagree with her. I do think that not you shouldn't do anything evil, but I do think that you do have to work and get a paycheck so you can pay your bills. And it may not be a job you want to do. at that moment, but do your best at it. Do your very best at it and watch how fast you grow and go up the chain. The universe knows what we need and is inherently programmed to bring it forth. It knows how to transform anything at all into everything that is necessary. While reading Cinderella to my daughter when she was growing up, I was always struck by the deep wisdom in that story. The fairy godmother didn't order a new dress out of a catalog. She transformed Cinderella's rags into a ball gown. She used what she had, Bookie. The fairy godmother didn't order a limo. She turned a pumpkin into a coach and mice into horsemen. I like that part. We go, Cinderella, Cinderella, you must have clothes, Cinderella. If you know Cinderella, then you know I'm dead on it. Okay. Whatever Cinderella needed, the universe took care of it. Cinderella's purity of heart called forth the fairy godmother, that is, the spirit within, and the fairy godmother called forth everything she needed. Cinderella is really one to look at because she had these evil people in her life, selfish. I don't even call them, they were broken. See, broken people do broken things. And when they did those broken things to her, Cinderella still didn't have a evil bone in her to want to hurt them. The fairy godmother's wand, true loving thought. The light in her wand casts onto things, true understanding. The magic she works, the miracles that result. The fairy godmother didn't have to order a dress or call out for a car because the universe miraculously transformed existing material. That's how the universe operates. Whatever already is the platform for what could be. Cinderella, despite her circumstances as a servant, had the mindset of the miraculous, and so miracles came to her. In one video of the story, Cinderella becomes upset after her stepmother and stepsisters have gone to the ball. She's on the driveway crying when the fairy godmother finally appears. Cinderella exclaims, "Oh, fairy godmother, I thought you'd never get here." To which the fairy godmother responds, "Oh, that's not true, or I couldn't have come." Wow, how metaphysical is that? So when people say, "I can't believe this happened to me," yes, you could, else it wouldn't have happened to you. You believed it somewhere inside your being. I also think that part about Cinderella where she's crying is when she gives up. The only time things start to work out is when you let go. And sometimes that comes with tears, but you let go. And when you let go, that's when the miracle can happen. Because when you let go, then you're no longer saying, this has to be this way, it has to be this way. You just let go. So she was just in a state of crying because her stepmother and her stepsisters were, able to go do something she wanted to do. But look at how it turned out. Our souls are Cinderella, the ego is the wicked stepmother, and the Holy Spirit is our fairy godmother. Each of us has a wicked stepmother, i.e. ego mind, seeking to obstruct our good. And each of us has a fairy godmother, i.e. Holy Spirit, working miracles to fulfill our heart's desires when our attitudes are pure. According to A Course in Miracles, miracles are everyone's right, but purification is necessary first. Do you deserve a miracle? Ask yourself that. Do you deserve a miracle? And only you can answer that. That's not me trying to tell you. It's me saying, ask yourself, do I deserve a miracle? And then start looking in your life to see where you may be putting up obstructions to miracles. Are you living good? Are you honest with people? Are you kind to people? Are you generous? Are you holding bitterness in your heart for anything or unforgiveness? Because if you're doing all of that, do you deserve a miracle? No, you don't. And you ain't going to get one, truth be told. But when you let go of all those things, when you forgive people and forgive yourself, when you allow yourself to let go of any bitterness that you can have for any reason, the biggest thing you need to do is stop saying, "Why did this happen to me?" and say, "Well, why not me?" I heard Minister Farrakhan say that before. Next time something go wrong in your life, don't say, "Why me, God?" Say, "Well, why not me, God?" And when you say, "Why not me, God?" well, God can show you more of why this happened in your life. But when you are in denial as to why things are happening in your life because you're so perfect, you speak in tongues even though you don't speak to other people, you just don't see nothing. How could anyone do this to me? I'm so perfect. You better sit yourself down somewhere and say, "Why not me, God? What do I need to do? What do I need to change? Help me find that beam in my eye because I can't see what's really going on." That mote or the beam or whatever it is. Anywho, where was I at? The fairy godmother didn't appear to the stepmother or the ugly stepsisters because their thoughts were mean. They had plenty of material resources, but they did not have the love in their hearts. Thus, all their plans came to naught. You don't have to worry about people who do you wrong. They will get what they get. And you don't have to sit around. If you sit around waiting for them to get what they get, now you're wasting your life. Because in order for you to sit around and wait to see what they're getting, that means you ain't doing shit. And if you ain't doing shit, then you getting what they getting because you're just sitting there. But when you move on with your life, when you free yourself, forgive them, forgive yourself, and free yourself, they're going to get whatever God has for them. And it may not be what you think it should be, and that's okay. It really is. Now, their plans all came to naught. If you remember, the shoe fell off, and they took the shoe all around, and she was the only person that could fit that shoe. And he knew that that was his queen. And he whisked her off away from a life of servitude. Purity of heart, then, is the miracle worker's greatest engine of wealth creation. There are 3 spiritual steps involved in the metaphysical transformation of lack into abundance. 1, be grateful for what you already have. 2, clean up wherever you need to clean up. And 3, allow yourself to want what you want. Thoughts are so beautiful. All 3 together, you can't help but soar. It may not happen overnight, and sometimes it can. But being grateful, the attitude of gratitude brings you so much. You just be grateful. And when you clean up whatever you need to clean up, meaning if you're doing something that you know you ain't got no business doing, stop doing it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said somebody wrote him, and they wrote this like 20-page letter about how they smoke cigarettes and they don't know how to stop smoking cigarettes. And they gave all the reasons why they smoke, because their mama used to beat them when they was little, or their daddy wasn't in their life, and all of this stuff. And then they ended it with, so dear Holy Apostle, please tell me, how do I stop smoking? And he wrote back this: stop smoking. Now, I thought it was petty, because, they wrote you all of this, and you just going to say stop smoking. But I understand it now. Stop smoking. That's it. Don't pick the cigarette up. Well, that's hard to do because I suffer this. No, it's not. Don't pick the damn cigarette up, or don't pick the extra cookie up, or don't go over to the married man's house or the married woman's house. Just don't do those things. Don't go in the store and steal, Don't rob somebody. Just don't do it. When you don't do those things, you're on the path to cleaning yourself up. Even if you did them before, just don't do them no more. And those people that you ran with, you're going to have to find new friends, because they're going to probably still want to do those things. And you can leave them alone. And then allow yourself to want what you want. You get to want what you want. Everybody is different. Remember I said that? Everybody is different. So you get to want what you want. Now, if you happen to want somebody else's mate, you can want that. And you might just get that. And it might work out for you. I can't say it's not, because, who am I to tell you what's going to work out? But what I can tell you is, when you want something that's already somebody else's and you get it in unscrupulous ways, the unscrupulous part is all wound up in that. That's what I know. So, but you can still want what you want. Go after it. If you can get them, if you can take that woman from her husband, if you can take that man from his wife, then they wasn't theirs in the first place, and good riddance to them. You just did the other person a favor. And you might end up just being happy. I don't know. One of the things that I'm never going to say is I know what God do with everybody, because I don't. I barely know what God wants for me. I'm still learning. All right, so I'm going to stop today. But goodness of God, tomorrow we can finish this book. We're going to start tomorrow, right? Still in this chapter, but be grateful for what you already have. So this is the lesson today. I want you, well, not the lesson, the assignment today. I want you to take a piece of paper and a pen and write down 10 things that you are grateful for that you already have. Don't censor yourself. I don't care if one of your 10 things is you grateful that your toenail polish look good. That's something to be grateful for. Write those 10 things down that you're grateful for. And then every single day, write down 10 things that you're grateful for, and watch how life opens up for you, because gratitude is the only attitude that gets you far, far, far. Thank you so very much for your time. I'm Tracy Lene. Of course, I would love it if you like, if you share, and if you subscribe to my channel. But even if you don't, I'm going to be here doing what I do, because that's what I do, boo. You guys have an amazing Monday. I will see you tomorrow.